Greetings survivors and friends, SHADOWFRAX here with your weekly train ride of Rust development news, and it's going to be a short one this week, only a couple of stops. But first, please stomp the subscribe button to stay up to date, it helps me a lot and you can always abandon me later. So to begin with, for those of you still asking, when Gonzole? The window for release was narrowed down further this week by Double 11, the company responsible for the port, and we now know, thanks to a GameSpot article from Tuesday, that it'll be this spring. Of course, they could pull a sneaky on us and say they meant the spring in Australia or something, but presuming that's not the case, you should be able to get your hands on it soon. Dead game, by the way, 3 out of 10. As regular viewers will know, an unspecified number of applicants have already been able to take part in stress tests, and more are being added. If you want, you can still volunteer yourself via the mailing list, which I'll put a link to in the description, although no guarantees you'll get in, of course. Just over the past few days, some actual official footage of console version gameplay oozed onto YouTube, and I'll put a link to it down below as well. Now, there's a lot to unpack here, and I will warn you that some of the footage may be painful to watch for the PC Master Race, but you'll no doubt notice that recoil is toned down hugely. Naturally, it can't work the same way as on PC, and there's generally a ton more hand-holding going on with outlines on just about everything, and even a take-all button. I know a few of you have asked about crossplay between console and PC, but I think it's safe to say, as Double 11 is clearly taking the console edition in a slightly different direction from PC, this would mean no crossplay between the two. I mean, you wouldn't enter the Grand National on a donkey, would you? Tell me what you think to all of this in comment land down below. Back to the actual game now, and there are some adjustments coming to slots, and there are improvements coming to the UI and the way machines are mounted, plus apparently you'll soon be able to specify how much to bet on a spin, with the potential for high returns, of course, because some of you have scrap to burn. Also, more work is happening on card games, and I'm reliably informed the first one we'll see is Texas Holdem. There were a few minor fixes and tweaks, such as one for dismounting the work cart, sometimes changing your viewing angle, the disabling of auroras, rainbows and lightning effects underground, a fix for some gunshot volumes, the velocity projectiles inherit from work carts being lowered to 50%, and a reduction in the cloth harvest yield from NPC corpses. Also on staging, the UI for the news section has had a big update that now shows the entire post with images and YouTube links, plus better scrolling. Over to works in progress, and there's a lot happening on the gesture system with a proper UI and some additional gestures being planned, so hopefully this isn't far off, and a huge amount of work being done by the team on the HDRP backport, which seems to be on the home stretch now. Not only does this mean we'll get a lot of sexy new high quality assets, but it will also usher in a few changes to monuments, such as all of the major ones seemingly receiving integrated train tunnel entrance stations, and a rather large overhaul to the junkyard in particular, which you can see a couple of shots of here. And yes, that thing in the centre is the new shredder, which I believe will give you something to do with your old banger once you decide to trade it in. Or maybe if you just want to make the world a tidier place. The submarine model seems to be done now pretty much, plus a second, even rustier version, but no actual word on when it'll be playable. And Helk has kicked off early work on a system to create a record of players you've interacted with in-game, with the potential for tracking acquaintances, allies, and even enemies. Not sure exactly how it will function, it's early days, subject to change, blah blah blah, but more info when I get it. And lastly, you've probably seen something about this, but earlier in the week a fire broke out at OVH in Strasbourg, which fortunately didn't injure anyone, but did knock out 4 whole data centres, completely obliterating 25 EU Rust servers along with many other services. These servers should now all have been replaced, but the data is forever lost. So a moment's silence now for everyone's BPs, including my own. Always back up your data. Right, that's your lot. Please leave a like and batter the subscribe button. Follow me on Twitch for streams, Twitter, Facebook, Discord, and my Steam group to stay in touch with my content. And consider supporting me on Patreon, like these amazing chaps on the right. And I shall catch you all soon. But in the meantime, keep calm and stay rusty. Cheerio. This video is powered by AWDIT's producer range of workstation PCs, available now at awdit.co.uk. Always back up your data.